So a little while ago, Wayne Scanlon, who writes for Sportsnet, came out with an article suggesting the Ottawa Senators are going to wonder what could have been this off-season. Wondering a little bit what could have been anyways, considering the fact that the Montreal Canadiens were in the Stanley Cup Finals, and as we all know, the Sens, who missed the playoffs, only had one win fewer than the Habs did. And to be honest, I don't think it's completely unreasonable to think that the Ottawa Senators could have potentially went to the Stanley Cup Finals, but at the same time, maybe it kinda is in a way. And when we compare the Sens and the Habs for this scenario anyways, we have to compare the 2020-2021 Ottawa Senators, well, the shortened season 2021 Ottawa Senators anyways, to the Montreal Canadiens. Not what the Sens can potentially be in the future, not what these young guys can grow into. We have to look at what they would have been this past season. Because in another year or two, yeah, I think Ottawa, as it stands right now with their roster against Montreal's roster, is definitely going to be the better team. I'm not just being biased towards them either because I'm a Sens fan. I do genuinely think that. But despite lots of speed and some good talent on this Ottawa roster, they were very young and inexperienced. And they would have drawn the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. I know a lot of you are thinking, well, the Leafs, they always choke in the playoffs anyway, so it would have been easy, right? Well, hold that thought for just a minute. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in large part because they were able to shut down Austin Matthews. They only held him to one goal. They were able to shut down that top line as a whole. And the Ottawa Senators, they really struggled to shut down Austin Matthews. That guy terrorizes the Sens organization. He's been doing it for 5 years now. The Sens need to find a way to shut him down. But they didn't this past season, and why should I believe that they would have done so in a playoff series? Now the Sens, they struggled against Winnipeg, and I think they could have beat them in a playoff series, especially towards the end. Maybe they could have beat the Jets, I don't know. There definitely would have been no pressure on the Sens to win in any of those scenarios, though. All the pressure would have been squarely on their opponents in both of those series. Getting back to the Sens being young for a little bit here, that's another reason why I don't think they would have gone as far as Montreal, because while I do think a lot of Ottawa's players have higher ceilings than Montreal's veterans that they had, I think that's the big reason why the Habs went far, is because they had veteran guys they could lean on, especially when they were in some dire situations in the playoffs, like being down 3-1 against Toronto. If Ottawa was down 3-1 against Toronto, they more than likely don't come back as of right now anyways, because they're very young. They've never tasted, or they would have never tasted, playoff hockey until this year. But as a Sens fan, it is always fun to think about what could have been. And yeah, I've had thoughts how cool it would have been for the Sens to beat the Leafs in a playoff series and finally shut the Toronto fans up, because let's be honest, that's all we hear about with Leaf fans is, oh, what have you guys done against us in the playoffs? I mean, obviously they have the 4 playoff series wins to Ottawa's 0. Hopefully the Sens will change that around the next time they meet in a series. And now quickly, let's say the Sens did get all the way to the 3rd round and played Vegas. I don't know that they beat Vegas. I mean, Vegas is a very experienced team. They have a ton of veteran presence. They're also very skilled, and even though their offense did dry up, it dried up against an experienced Montreal team, and maybe it wouldn't have dried up against a young Ottawa team. Had the Sens played the Tampa Bay Lightning, same deal, they definitely wouldn't have won. Maybe Tampa even beats them in 5 games as well, like they did with Montreal. But it's nice to fantasize, like I said. So those are my thoughts on this topic. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Could the Ottawa Senators have done what Montreal did in the playoffs? Or would they have just lost out in the first round and the Leaf fans would have had their version of a Stanley Cup, beating the Ottawa Senators in a playoff series? So let me know all that and more in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.